Good morning, hope you're well. I just wanted to do a really quick video on Wirestock. Recently I hit 100 total sales and I thought it would be worth looking at where those sales were coming from, which sites, which stock sites, and what the total value of those sales was relative to those same sites. I think this is like an insight that might help people that are thinking about Wirestock or have just started out, because one of the benefits of Wirestock that people don't discuss as much is that it acts as an aggregator on earnings and allows you to get payouts faster, particularly if you're a new contributor with a pretty small portfolio. So instead of waiting forever to have a payout from some of the sites that have higher payout amounts, you can get your payouts faster theoretically on Wirestock if you just use that site to aggregate your earnings from those sites. But I want to see if that held true and see what my earnings look like. And I thought I would share it with you because I thought it was kind of interesting. So let's just get going on the computer right now so I don't drag this out too long. Okay, so here we are on the dashboard. You can see that the total earnings are $67.08, but this is also including the referrals and the bonus that you get when you sign up. So my actual earnings are $55.05 for 100 sales. And so we can see that Adobe, I had 56 sales, 56% of my sales went to Adobe. Next was Shutterstock at 37% of sales, and that earned me $11.86. And then I had 3 sales at Dreamstime, 1 sale at Deposit Photos, and I had 3 sales on Extra Channels. And I was curious about Extra Channels and also Wirestock Direct to see if they would translate into anything. And really they haven't really got any earnings from those sort of separate Wirestock opportunities. Yeah, and then as you can see, I have no earnings on these other sites, Pond 5, Alamy, and 123RF. So obviously the iStock Getty partnership's not reflected on this site at this point in time, and that might change the results that I'm getting here right now and discussing with you. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, if you look up with Adobe here, I had 56 downloads, but that earned me $41.76. So just so you know, that's a RPD, a royalty per download of 75 cents per image, which is pretty fair for Adobe based on my separate Adobe account. I think it's within the region or the realm of where you want to be on Adobe. It can be higher some months and lower, so maybe this is a bit on the low end, but within the range. So yeah, 75 cents for RPD. And then on Shutterstock, you can see that 37 sales, so pretty good amount of sales as well. But that only earned $11.86, and that's a 32-cent RPD. So a royalty per download at 32 cents. For me, that's pretty low. I'm typically higher on Shutterstock, and that might be just based on the fact that I haven't got any sort of extended license sale through Wirestock at this point. But 32 cents is pretty low. It might be okay if you're a level 1 contributor, but I think it's pretty quick to go up the first few brackets on Shutterstock if you have any size of portfolio at all. You can get up to 4 within a reasonable period of time, and that makes that 32 cents a bit low. The Dreamtime and Deposit and the Extra, it's almost nothing. So basically what I have is 75% of my sales earnings coming from Adobe. I have about 20%, a little bit more than 20% coming from Shutterstock, and almost nothing else from the other partners that Wirestock's working with right now. So that to me is a significant bit of information because these sites also have other benefits. For example, Adobe does that annual payment to license the images for a year for free. So I don't know if that will also roll out onto Wirestock since I haven't seen that. But that's one big thing you'll miss by not focusing on Adobe. The other thing is in the past, I don't think there's anything going on right now. There might be, and I maybe just didn't qualify, but there's often benefits to Adobe stock contributors in terms of getting subscription access benefits to the Adobe Cloud plan. So There's been years where we've gotten Adobe Cloud, like the photographer's package, for free. So there's a whole range of benefits that go with working directly with a different agency. And I don't know that we'll also receive those benefits through Wirestock. So having the earnings sort of all come from the two sites, I think is a little problematic. I think to make Wirestock a really good site, you'd want to see these earnings sort of distributed out wider so that you're actually getting income from these sites that's aggregated in and sort of piggybacks on your bigger sales through Adobe and Shutterstock. I wasn't expecting to see it sort of all dominated by Adobe and primarily, and then Shutterstock secondarily, but that's what we have. Okay, I hope that was interesting. My general feeling, in case I didn't make it clear, is that if the sales coming from the sites other than Adobe and Shutterstock don't beat that 15% margin that you lose on those sales to Adobe and Shutterstock, then it might not be worthwhile. So I would like to see all those other sites make or provide enough revenue that the loss on the 15% that Wirestock takes on my Shutterstock and Adobe Stock sales kind of gets dealt with that way. So that's what I'd like to see. And so at this point, I mean, I'd hate to, give him a recommendation, but it doesn't look like it has the kind of value that it's meant to have. We'll see. It's only 100 sales. We'll see what that looks like. But I thought 100 sales was a pretty good sample. So anyway, hope this was at least interesting. And yeah, stick around for more stock photography content. Take care.